In the following tutorial, I'd like to show you some of the new operational possibilities for brush strokes and preset brushes according to our newly designed preset ink brushes. As you can see, my Wacom is set up with the Wacom remote. The Express Key remote that has a lot of pre-calibrated buttons. I can easily step back and forward, zoom in and out, stroke a path or delete a path, deselect, escape, and change smoothing levels. As I show you the new brushes, let me zoom in a little bit so we can see it much better. The newly designed brushes are to be found under Relief Advanced. And as you can see, any brush now that's selected has smoothing enabled and set to either to 100% or 0%. This is very important because when smoothing is disabled by default, you can see none of these options are available. I can't change smoothing anymore. So once it's disabled, I won't be able to adjust smoothing while I'm drawing. So let me enable smoothing again and show you how these brushes behave. Oh, first of all, I'd like to show you what happens when smoothing's on and I'm drawing a very rapid movement. As you can see, when smoothing is on, even when it's 10%, when I draw very fast, Photoshop AI behaves in a way that it just connects my dots. When I try to add a lot of parallel lines, it either works or with a more complex texture, it just starts skipping and not adding the lines the way I'd like it to. So basically, when I use the newly designed brushes, I have smoothing either set to 0 or set to 100%. 100% represents the assisted version of the same brush. So when I draw a sunline with no assistance, and excuse me because I'm sitting really far from my computer, the line becomes really bumpy. When I draw, and wiggly sometimes, when I draw in assisted smoothing at 100%, the same line behaves much smoothly. So obviously, there's a lot of fiddling that would go with changing back and forth between these behaviors by either adjusting the slider on the top or using the preset shortcuts for toggling between smoothing. To eliminate this problem, each new brush has two versions preset, one with assistance set to 100% and one with assistance set to 0. So no matter what you use before this one of these brushes, even if it's set to a different smoothing, once you click on this brush, it goes back to its preset smoothing option. So this is very easy to apply since you have the full set right here. You just have to choose between assisted and non-assisted versions. And of course, when it comes to drawing plaster like before with the dots and the smoothing set to 0, there is no problem, no similar problem altering the results anymore. You can draw dots as fast as you can, and still there is no connection between the dots. So basically this eliminates one of the main problems with smoothing, that is this strange behavior that looks like if it would be a certain lag to the brush stroke. Now, the easiest to move between these brushes, since there are many to choose from, and you can see that in the recent brush strip at the top of the brush tool panel, there is really no difference shown between a regular pen and a regular 10 and an assisted 10. So there is no way to know which one to pick. For me, the easiest to move and to eliminate always clicking back here, finding the right brush, is to set up my Wacom Express Key remote in a way that it toggles between the brushes. Just like that, going back and forth. I achieved this by setting up the dot and the comma shortcut in these two directions to manipulate these brushes. So basically, if I want to draw a sunline with no assistance, like let's say I want to smooth a corner, I can use the non-assistant version, and I can easily just move to the assistant version and continue the line with more assistance added.